Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Carrie Ramage, managing broker at RE/MAX Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. I think I'm all ready.
I am 100% not, because let's see, if this is week 4, I don't even know. Let's see. No, so I wasn't ready. So hold on. I'm going.
Okay. Well, I'll just chat while you're getting ready. So we had a couple people do their homework today. So I'm going to use my little random homework picker to see who wins the $50 gift card to Amazon. Here we go. Okay. Not working. Hang on.
It's Monday.
Right? What the heck? All right, let me go back to my group, current group, and I want to play. Okay, I think this should do it. No. Oh, there we go. Who's that? Looks like Susan Lewis to me.
Woo-hoo.
Woohoo! So you'll get a gift card in your email sometime today when I get around to sending it, Susan.
Well, I to me, it's just that pet peeve with the online presence, a lot of missed opportunities I see from so many just agents in general. So it's always a good thing. I am constantly on social. So of course I see my profiles and updating all these different things, but it's super important, at least a minimum once a year to kind of go through those profiles.
For sure. And we covered that all last week, but it is super important. And not just, we talked about this, but your Facebook and your Instagram and your Twitter and your YouTube or whatever it is, but also all of your designations, everything. Those are the ones I always forget. They're like way down on the totem pole. I have a list here that I have going, and I keep adding stuff to it. So you can see all at the top is all anything on the internet, and it's all on the internet. At the bottom are all of my designations.
I used to have a checklist for places to go and stuff like that. And well, I guess I kind of do within this, but I can shorten it. I need to make like a one sheet. It's good for a transition, for anything like that.
Right.
I had one at one point. No idea where it would be, but in technology, online, everything is just constantly changing. So
yeah,
that to make another sheet. But this is week 4 for me. This one, like if I only did week 1 in week 4, like I'm pretty much consistent with knowing my numbers and my goals and where I'm at. I am constantly evaluating that. Of course, going through what I spend every single month. I don't do that all the time. It hurts my brain. That's when I can kind of eliminate different things that, oh, I forgot I signed up for that, or what the heck is this that I'm paying for every year? So that's where those numbers I don't go through all the time, but knowing my goals and all that. But this week, this is probably one of my most exciting. It's what really energizes me for the upcoming year. It's like I constantly have different sheets and aspects, because it's where I get to kind of trigger all the different things I want to implement that I didn't quite get to do, or and really just, I'm all about my calendar. Like if it's not there, it doesn't really get done.
Yeah, me too.
So this is my favorite week, I think, besides.
Yeah, which is, we're creating the plan, creating the roadmap for success, we did all the numbers. We kind of figured out how much we want to make. We updated our social. We We talked about who we want to be and what our goals are, and whether it's personal or professional when we did our vision boards. And now we're going to kind of take all those things and thoughts that are swirling around in your head, and we're going to really put it down on paper and figure out what you need to be doing this coming year to reach your goals.
Right. Because I think you almost have to know your numbers. Where do you want to be? And that's where that vision part. And then this is where we get to create that roadmap to
Right.
success. So there's, what 10 things I always like to say you should have 10 pillars to your business. Like, what 10 things are you consistently doing in your business? And there's so many things. And, a lot of people are like, oh, I have to do social, coming back from a convention. I know our top agents don't do social at all. And I just feel, but they have a lot of other things that
they're doing.
And we don't all need to be doing the same thing. You need to find what works for your business, how, what works for you. And
in looking in these kind of lists, suggestions there that you can pick your 10 things from, or you can come up with your own 10 things. I mean, we're really going to take a look at these and find the things that you've had success with in the past. So you would want to keep doing those. Find the things that you enjoy. You want to keep doing those. And then we always say, pick a couple of things that may feel a little bit outside of your comfort zone.
Yes, because that's where the magic happens. And you just don't know. I know that there's so many that, oh, I would like to try this, but I'm a little nervous about it. Add it. Like, let's try it, because sometimes getting out of your comfort zone and finding where that magic is, that's where growth happens. That's where the magic happens. So definitely add some things in that you've been pondering about, and definitely add it in there, and let's, give it a shot. I say to give it at least 3 months, really consistently trying to do something. But so we have a ton of different ideas just to get your brain going.
Well, and it's funny because I was just about to say, I was talking at a women in real estate meeting last week, and then Maria Burke popped on, who was at that meeting. And what I was going to say is, when I was talking at that thing, I said more than once, I'm never going to door knock, and I'm never going to cold call. It just is so way, way, way outside of my comfort zone. I'm not good at it. I don't like it.
But something you had been pondering and we had talked about for a couple of years was us doing this show. And, I don't want to be on video. I want to do it, but I don't. And, I mean, it really just, let's just try it and see what happens.
And so, I always tell people now, like, just do it. You look the way you look. You are who you are. I'm getting my hair cut today, so it's a bad hair day. I probably shouldn't have scheduled that, but oh well, here I am on camera with my hair not great. But that's okay. I mean, you are who you are. People see you at your best and your worst. I mean, I've had to show houses on the way from the gym. And, you just, people see you in all stages of your day. So here we are. But
then this part really matters, your habits.
Yeah.
So what are you doing that, you should be doing, you're doing, and think of, what should I do more of? What should I do less of? What works? And if something is working that in your business, maybe you want to double down on that. If there's that positive return, you enjoy it, whatever, maybe you want to do more of that, less of what's not working, or what may be sucking a lot of energy and time. So really just think of, I want to do more of, I need to do less of, I need to start doing, and I need to stop doing.
It's funny. It might've been at the same event. There was a speaker who was no, it wasn't her, because she does do postcards. Somebody recently was like, oh yeah, postcards, like, that's dead. Don't do that. And I'm thinking, great for me, because I do postcards and I've had great success with it. So, maybe I need to invest a little bit more money into my postcards this year, versus what I've spent in the past, and then if you have people with that school of thought, oh, postcards are so old school, great. That just means more views for me, less junk in people's mailbox, and maybe it's just my junk,
No, absolutely. And that's where we're all can't do the same thing. It won't work, but trying to find what works with your business model. And you always have to think of who's your target audience.
Yeah.
And how do they perceive information or whatnot. The messaging is always needs to be targeted to who you want to work with. So
Right. And then I love the start doing and stop doing. I mean, stop doing, I think the thing that's always on mine is like stuff that is just sucking your time and energy that you can either pay somebody else to do or don't do it all because it's not worth it, you know?
right.
I remember years ago when I did the Tom Ferry Sales Power, and then I tweeted, you know, when do you decide you need an assistant? And his reply was, if you have to ask, you probably need an assistant. And so there's so many things that you can get an assistant to do, and it stops sucking your time so that you can go out there and do what we do best, which is sell houses, cultivate
Right.
relationships and
Yeah.
sell houses.
I mean, we're always saying you can delegate those and so that you can focus your, your time and energy on income producing activities and delegate the stuff
Yeah.
that maybe you don't like to do, the
Right.
stuff that maybe you're not good at that hurts. I mean, that's like, I have accountant, a bookkeeper, because that stuff just hurts my brain. So,
Right.
and it takes forever. So I'm happy to pay whatever that monthly fee is just so it's done and it's done correctly. And I don't have to think about it. It's one less thing on my plate so I can focus on what I am good at and what
Right.
needs to get done. So
Right.
we always have to delegate your routines.
Yep.
To me, this is, my morning routine is crucial. And, I joined a gym because my time kind of opened up because of, different things. And I really wanted to do the gym, but I realized like it's so hard for me to go in the morning because that's like my power time. Like 5 to 9 in the morning, I get so much done. And I'm having a really hard time spending that time to go to the gym. I
Oh, I
need to
know
wanna
that's
go to the gym,
that's
but
a struggle for me too. Same thing. Like I like to get, on my phone in the morning, rechecking emails, doing stuff I need to catch up from the night before. It's super quiet in my house. But I don't like going to the gym or walking or whatever it is after work either. So I got to
would say
figure it
that
out.
I'm a class person. So like I had joined, one of the gyms that don't have class. I need a class because I'm not going to be rude and leave them. So I'm stuck with them for however long that class is. And I know I'm
Right.
getting stuff done, but I'm not a free do whatever. Like I'll be on the treadmill or whatever the walking thing is. I remember, I'll just do a half an hour of this. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I looked down and it's only been 3.5 minutes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I couldn't even like walk out of there. They probably thought I was drunk.
Right.
So I need the classes, but they don't really do classes in the afternoon for me. Like the lunchtime, that would be perfect for me, I think.
Right.
In the morning I do stuff, in the afternoon, like I really don't want to go in the afternoon.
Right.
Or dinner time. So I just crap, where's your noon class or 11 o'clock? Because that's like when I'm doing my lunch break.
Right. Well, and I get that. And for you, that totally works because you don't go out in the morning. But for me, it's like once I've like done my hair, put on makeup, gotten dressed, although I do like the noontime classes and I have done that in the past, but then you got to re-go, get all ready again. So it's a lot. But I like what Susan just said, take a 30-minute walk in the morning. Because if you're doing a 30-minute walk in the morning, you can have your earbuds in and you can listen to a book or you can listen to something motivational.
Yeah, my sister, she does the Causeway every morning on her way to work.
Does she really?
She does it. And I know the other morning, I guess it was really cold and she was enjoying it, but until they got on the Causeway and they didn't do their 3-mile loop, they just kind of did the Causeway and back because
Right.
it was like, okay, it's a little colder than we thought. Not quite prepared for that. That was when you had your like one cold day.
Right.
But she does do that every morning. And I think having a buddy like for accountability makes it easy. And then they just go right into work from there. So
wow,
that's good. 30-minute for me, I'm in the country. There's no street lights. There's no sidewalks. And we live on these crazy windy roads. So I'd probably end up in a ditch somewhere or something with a car curving by.
I live in the perfect place for the 30-minute walk.
You do 100%. You even have sidewalks and it's, I don't have sidewalks. I don't have street lights. I may run into a loose cow or something.
Right.
That might freak me out too. So I thought I could just loop around my property,
Yeah, that works too. But I like that idea. And I think for me, like I always am like, oh, I'm not prepared. So I think I probably need to decide what podcast I want to listen to the night before. So I'm ready to go, pop on my sneakers, take a walk, put in my earbuds, and
I have the playlist for that. So I don't do the podcast. I have my UPW and Tom Ferry playlist, their music, because that just gets me going. And, because we used to do night in Florida, we did nightly walks. We had sidewalks and, we would take the dogs for a walk every
right.
night. And it was great. But I realized one time my batteries died in my podcast and my walking pace went way down when I didn't have that music. Gets me going and stuff like that. But and another thing is I don't know if you remember the Mel Robbins had done like the 5-second rule. I'm not a snoozer. I don't need an alarm clock. I think this Saturday, I think I slept until 6 a.m, which never happens. Like
which is late, right?
I force myself to stay in bed until my clock at least says 4 a.m. and then I'm okay to get up. But usually it's, I don't know. I think that my daughter calls them angel numbers. It's either 3:21 or 4:20 is when I wake up every morning, no alarm clock. But I actually slept till 6 and I was just like, I slept the day away. And I'm like, hey, it's Saturday. It's okay. Okay.
I know. By noon, I'm like, okay, the day's over.
For sure. Yeah. But I was like, okay, so I don't need an alarm clock. I like waking up at the same time every single day. I don't want to sleep in on the weekends or anything like that. I still drink my coffee in my office and just, that's usually my business time to just kind of focus on what I need to do. And now it's, a lot of it's been kind of doing our homework and preparing for next year. It's the end of the year. And that's just what I always do. But
right.
Do you snooze all the time? Like, that's the one thing. Don't snooze. You hear that alarm. You're supposed to get up. Get up. That 5-second rule. Push your body to do something maybe you don't want to do. And then, it's that whole 5-second rule. Don't give yourself 5 seconds because you'll talk yourself out of it if it's not something.
That's so true. That's so true. So yeah, make sure though that you're setting up a great morning routine, whatever it is, whatever works for you, and then set up your business morning routine. And I will say a lot of our top agents, they'll be here at the office at 7 a.m. And I usually know, I used to get here earlier when my kids were in elementary school because I would get ready for the day, leave the house, drop them off at school, and go right to the office. Now I work a little bit more from home first before I get to the office. But I always know when who gets here early when we do our Thanksgiving luncheon, because I get to the office super early to put the turkeys in the oven. And so I'll see all the people that are here early and they're making their phone calls.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used to always get in early once the kids had their own cars and stuff and would always do that. And me, it was just more about traffic. So I'll just get in there before regular people go to work or whatnot.
So when you're doing your business morning routine, are you doing the 5-5-4-2 power hour? 5 calls or texts to past clients or your center of influence, 5 new conversations with new contacts, 4 lead follow-up conversations, and then 2 social posts or videos to try. Are you doing that every morning? Are you setting that goal and just making notes, taking down who you're calling, what you're doing? At the seminar I went to, I'll share it with you later, and maybe we can incorporate this. It was I can't remember how many things, but it was like a 26 touch, but it was for the month. I got to look at it. I'll send it to you later, and we might add in something a little different for next year. But it's really consistency is the key.
And I think we always incorporate this when, especially if someone's newer or anything like that, just to get that pattern of what they need to be doing. I think these are great sheets. Also, if you are looking to incorporate more of a routine, this is a great way to get started. You can, and we have them where they're actual sheets, put them in a binder, make a bunch of printouts of it so that you can put the date on the top and actually write in notes and use that so that Monday through Friday, you have a daily log of everything that you're doing. I think it really helps set a pattern. It'll also tell you, you can use the note section to maybe put in what you are doing instead. I think it just helps when you're trying to set that daily pattern of prospecting,
Yep.
what are you doing? And this is, for me, is basically step one. It really will help you see what you're actually doing and being able to have that folder of everything that you're doing. It's just a great log to be able to start time tracking and
Yeah.
time blocking and really getting a schedule together of what you're actually doing. So
Yeah.
I think this is a 101 start.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then,
My favorite. This
yep.
one's my favorite.
I
I mean,
know.
it stays right next to my vision board. And as I'm preparing so this is kind of like my little, it's my everything. Like, this is, quite honestly, it's the ability to break things down into 3 things I need to incorporate every single month. And
Yeah.
it may be, I have just simple things like February. I need to do a Valentine's post. I just go to Yelp. I find all the great restaurants that may have Valentine's specials, and I'll do a blog about it. Those are the most shareable blogs for, in July. I'm looking at the calendar for the school year. That's by far my number one blog of the year. And it's just crazy. I just basically take the PDF, almost copy it, add some graphics, anything that's important for different holidays. It's crazy how it's just little things, and a lot of times you can kind of repurpose, or Yelp is a great resource for, St. Patty's Day, or, all these different restaurant types of things, events, stuff like that. There's so many great websites to give you information. So a lot of mine may be blogs, or I have video tutorials, and I'm going to put what I'm doing for that month. But make sure that you're adding in personal things as well.
Well, and even for just for agents, it could be, you say video tutorials, it could be something that, geared towards first time home buyers, or something geared towards, the loan process, or something like that,
even your monthly market report,
monthly
what's going
market
on
report.
the local level. We have all the content. You can just kind of paraphrase it in a language that they understand what these numbers mean. Just simple.
Yeah. So, and Maria is saying for what's driving her right now is to hear from top agents every morning. I don't know where you're hearing from people, but there's a group on Facebook, 5 a.m. East Coast, and it's a wake up call, and it's basically at 5 a.m. you call into the number, and it's the same person each week, and for 5 minutes they talk, inspirational stuff. I used to do that all the time. I haven't been doing it as much, but so that's an awesome place to hear some great motivational stuff, for sure.
No, absolutely. But just make sure. So my doing done is actually right next to my vision board. Every single year I fill it out. Basically, I look at my vision board and I look at everything else that we've done for the roadmap, things that I'm going to implement, things that maybe I need to do less of, more of. I kind of use all of those steps to be able to add that right onto here, and I like being able to cross it off.
Yeah. Well, and it's here's the thing. It's so that you don't load up January with 12 things.
Right.
You don't want to load up, and then you'll get overwhelmed.
Yeah. So I think by breaking it down, and then I know, like, when we had COVID, like, everything changed, right? So I was, it's like, yeah, I may have what I thought I was going to do, but then, life happens, things happen. I can rearrange and redo and cross off. I can just, what can I be doing right now? And that's basically what I did.
Yep.
So, things always change as they need to. And these are just the great things. The only thing I didn't get done was, my kitchen estimates and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
But I'm sure I got mods on my Jeep instead. So
right. But yeah, and like you said, keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's why we like to plan, where you're not loading up the beginning of the year, and that whole, like in the old days, oh, I'm going to start the diet on January 1st, or I'm going to start this on January 1st, or this on January 1st. You don't have to do it all. Do a little bit each month to keep yourself consistently, consistently working, and that way you can be successful at it as well. If you're doing too many things right at the beginning, you're going to lose momentum and you're going to feel like you weren't a success at it.
Right. Because I think sometimes we overwhelm ourselves, especially like after a conference or something like that. Oh, I need to do all this, this, and this. And that's going to be at the end of the year when we go do your numbers. Those are going to be all the things that you signed up for that you totally forgot about, never logged back into.
Yep.
That's just costing you money. So by breaking it down, I think it gives you that time to really focus on whatever it is that you're wanting to implement and really kind of master that before you add in something else. So it's just taking all these great ideas that you may have and putting them in bite-sized nuggets so that you can actually be successful at each of them. Or it may, you may be like, yeah, totally not for me. I'm not doing this. But I did try. I gave it a month to really put my full effort into it. But
and even if it's, say you want to start doing more video, but you don't want to start doing that in January just because you're trying to implement going to the gym every morning or whatever it is, start the videos in March, so that you're not.
Or maybe just one a month, don't overwhelm yourself like, oh, I need to do all these things. Maybe you do your buyers in January. Maybe you do seller top questions in March. I started off very, maybe one a quarter, one a month. Until you get comfortable and then you're like, oh yeah, I can totally do this. But it's getting started is always the hard part. So don't overwhelm yourself. Just, put it on there so that you can cross it off and attempt to do it and all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Sure. Exactly. So, you're going to take everything we've kind of talked about in the last 4 weeks. We're going to put it all together, kind of make your roadmap, to success. Great point, Susan. Start now. You can start doing whatever it is now so that by January it is a routine,
Yep. And that's what I've been working on every weekend. I think I just get so excited. I'm like, oh, I can start doing this. Oh, let me do this. Oh, let me do this.
Yeah, for sure. So you're going to take all this stuff and we're hopefully going to make, as we're prepping for 2023, that's perfect. You're kind of getting yourself into the mindset. And we're just going to make it a great year. Hopefully this will be a year where, I was watching a comedian the other day, a woman, and she's like, when are we going to have to stop telling people that we've had COVID? And it was such a funny little clip because she's like, my sister-in-law called me the other day and she's like, well, I have to tell you, we were over the other day and we have COVID. And she goes, and I wanted to say back, great. Well, you know what? I had diarrhea the other day. And it was like, it was so funny. I can't remember who she was, but it was so funny because it's like, so my point is hopefully 2023 is the year we can stop saying, I have COVID or I'm contagious or I'm,
I had the flu. Oh my gosh.
Right.
And then just know that we have the breaking it down, the doing done. We also have that 5542 plan. If you go to mondaymorningwakeupcall.com and click on that reignite, we have all of the videos as well as we do have these available for
so they can print out the sheets
as single sheets. Just so you know, those are super important for me. I absolutely love the part of it where you're actually making that plan, put it on your calendar, find maybe a way to put them into tasks or something like that so that things get done.
Yeah.
But by using all of these, different ideas and, hopefully you just get your brain stirring and what you want to add on to there. So what's our weekly activity?
So you're going to create the roadmap to success. So if you haven't been filling out your workbooks in the ongoing, you want to make sure you're filling those out. And like you said, and that's what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to print out those single sheets of the 5542 and the doing done. So I have them ready and do an engaging post on social and tag us with hashtag reignite 2023. And we'll let you do that until Friday. And on Friday afternoon, I'll do one more drawing that I'll just announce on our page.
Awesome. And then words of wisdom is a goal without a plan is just a wish. So go ahead and create that roadmap to success. And I can't wait to see what we do in 2023. And of course, if you have any show ideas or anything, you know how to find us, tag us, post it, email us, whatever you want to do. Find us. And
Perfect.
I think that's it.
It is. I can't even believe it. Like October done, business planning done. On to the next. Let's start prepping for 2023.
Oh, and I get so excited after doing this. So
yeah,
doing the
and
numbers,
finish out 22 super strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Till next week, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.